Hey, how's your day so far? Well, hopefully, I can give you a reason to smile with another episode of It Had to Be Said, a satirical, fake news look at the insanity of our modern life. In our first story, we get a new take on the 18-month-long war in the Ukraine. Vladimir Putin and his supporters have offered a number of questionable, if not downright ludicrous, excuses for Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. The latest came from the late Yevgeny Prigozhin, head of the Wagner mercenary forces, just before he boarded a flight to, well, a field outside the village of Kuzhinkino, as it turned out. Prigozhin announced to the reporters who had gathered at his plane, "We are not in Ukraine to make war, but merely to market a new brand of Russian vodka." He explained further, "The bottles are very fragile, so we need to transport them in special armored vehicles. Then we shoot off some fireworks to let our friends, the Ukrainians, know where the special vodka trucks are. They are so happy that they invite us to remain in their villages as long as we keep the vodka coming." The war is all a misunderstanding, according to the late accused war criminal. "We merely want to get drunk together." He then shook his finger accusingly and said darkly, "You know, Zelensky is a teetotaler, and he just wants to ruin the fun for the rest of us. We can't let that happen." When Putin himself was asked about the statement, he stared, dead-eyed, into the camera, then smiled slightly before answering via translator. Yes, of course, that's completely correct. It's just a shame that the flight crew had partaken so heavily of the stock during that flight, which is unequivocally the reason for the rough landing that they experienced. He then added, again via translator, "Yes, we are planning a very big promotional event over the next few months. Our goal is for our salesmen to reach out to everyone in the Ukraine with our product. We expect that it will generate considerable excitement there." And finally, Putin promised, "I know that all of you in Western Europe and America are jealous of the Ukraine's access to our fine goods. I personally promise that one day soon we will be bringing our great service to your country as well." A popular news channel shocked many by settling out of court recently with a voting technology company, paying a considerable sum. A court observer leaked an event that may have been the final impetus for the channel to opt for settlement rather than go to trial. According to the unnamed source, the channel's lawyers told Judge Albert Eric Davis that the entire lawsuit was based on a misunderstanding. They told him that the on-air personnel were just trying out new lyrics for that "What Does the Fox Say" song. He continued reading from the court transcript. "Your Honor, we have long needed new theme music for our channel, and the Ylvis song fits perfectly. We felt we needed to make it our own, though, by adding some new lyrics. Our creative staff were workshopping some dope rhymes, and folks just misread those as factual claims. So clearly, this is all an epic fail by the liberal media and courts. He quickly added, yourself excluded. Judge Davis listened to the lawyer's proposal to dismiss the case on those grounds before responding. What does the judge say? Contempt, 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 pointing at each of the lawyers in turn and sending them all to jail for 3 days. As they were being led out of the courtroom, one of the lawyers was overheard complaining, he expects us to tell the truth? I mean, he knows where we work, right? Telling the truth is a fireable offense over there. Apparently, so is failing to tell a lie successfully, as the previous legal team was promptly replaced by a new team who immediately negotiated the settlement. Florida's top official, on a break from his national campaign to make himself more widely despised, once again escalated his feud with a major entertainment company over their criticism of the state's Don't Say Gay law. His latest gambit had been to suggest that he might build a state prison on the land right next to their Florida property. In an announcement yesterday, he took that idea one step further. We've been thinking of building a prison next to their place because we're all about protecting the children from their corrupt influence. So we thought maybe the best thing would be just to put the children themselves in the prison. He explained that prison is obviously the safest place for anyone to be, so they plan to separate all children under the age of 16 from their parents before they enter the park. Safeguard the children in the prison while their parents go on to lose their morality in that haven of sin and corruption. The parents can pick the children up as they leave, though we'll probably put some social workers at the entrance just to make sure that it's safe to release the children back into their custody. A lot of adults come out of that place changed. You can tell by the unnatural smiling and singing. We'll of course fix up some of the cells, paint them a nice pea green, for instance, toss in some toys, nothing gay or their brand, and some reading material, Bibles and gun magazines and such, and then lock them up until they're paroled. He smiled broadly. We think it'll be a fun, memorable experience for everyone. Much better than standing in long lines over there. When asked if the prison would be used solely for children, he hemmed. Well, possibly not. It will be a prison. It would be a waste not to set aside part of it for hardened criminals. But the children will be totally safe. You can trust me on that. The only shared parts will be the cafeteria and the bathrooms. So, no issues there. A representative for QuickieTick, one of the largest ticket services, announced today at a consumer technology show that working with an unnamed laboratory, they have perfected the fine art of fine print. We're now able to add print to our tickets that's so small it can only be read by an electron microscope. We call it ultra-fine print, reported industry expert Clarence Plotnicki. And by redeeming the ticket, the customer automatically agrees to its terms, even though they're impossible to read. We can get away with anything now, he added gleefully. He further clarified, just to make sure there's no possibility of comprehension, we've taken some extra steps. We print them in Icelandic. I mean, how many electron microscopes can there be in Iceland? I doubt Bjork has one. And as the pièce de résistance, we're using Vanta Ultra Black ink on a black ticket background. We can't even tell there's print there. Plotnicki offered examples of some of the possible uses of the ultra-fine print. We've been whiteboarding some ideas. These are automatic agreements that are made when the ticket holder redeems the ticket. One was commitment to 4 hours of unpaid labor at the venue, cleaning up and such after the show, or automatic purchase of a fan box with outdated sample merch from the team or the band or whatever. One of my favorites was agreement to donate non-vital organs to an organization chosen by the ticket company at a date of their choosing. There's a Slavic civic organization, Solinsiske Bratva, that's shown quite an interest. And no, the ticket holder doesn't need to be deceased. He wrapped up with his outlook on the future. This is going to open so many new avenues for consumer manipulation. It's a whole new dystopian world out there thanks to this scientific breakthrough. The session ended with an abrupt mass exodus when Plotnicki winked at the audience and asked innocently, "You all bought tickets to this presentation, didn't you? Hope you read the fine print." Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you again next week for another episode of